God damn. This is a bad idea. I am going to be playing Dark Souls 2 as my first Let's Play. What a shit idea. Yeah, well, this is New Game Plus. Originally started out as a mage for my first run through. Went pretty well. I'm no stranger to the Souls series. This is going to be the third game, so I've played all of them so far. Um, didn't really find it to be a whole lot easier or harder than any of the other Souls titles, so I was happy with it. Now, that being said, I'd never played a mage type before, so I figured it'd be worth a shot. Had a lot of fun, but decided for my New Game Plus I wanted to go back to a sword and board type character, but with a little bit more flair. So, what I'm running here, and I'm planning on running, is a Dex and Faith build. We can take a look at the stats here. This is after a stat refresh with the Soul Vessel. Um, Trying to get Dex and Faith as high as I can. I just wanted enough strength really to wear some good light armor. Um, Primarily, though, I'm going to be using, well, again, we can take a look at my equipment. I want to use a halberd. I've always liked the style with the halberdier type character, a little bit more long range. Um, you still get the best of both worlds as far as I'm concerned, some pokey stabby, and also some runaway. Um, I'm running binoculars as well, just so that I can effectively wield my sorceries, which I have Great Lightning Spear and Sunlight Blade. Not a whole lot of points into attunement. I really didn't want a whole lot of slots, just because I knew I wasn't going to be using too many spells, but I knew I needed enough for a good amount of casts. So that's where I'm running there. Let's go back to my equipment. Using Defender Shield because it's a great shield, 100 plus physical defense. Um, I'm running a Bow of Want, and I know you might be thinking, why use a bow and spells? Well, my spells are going to be limited, so I definitely wanted to have a bow handy. The Bow of Want's a great bow. And Archdrake Chime for my cast, plus 10. That's the only weapon I have as a carryover from last game. I didn't do a complete 100% run or anything, so I am missing some good items, but I'm okay with it. So I'm running Chloranthy Ring plus 1, Third Dragon Ring, Ring of Binding, and Royal Soldier's Ring right now. Just as kind of a test to see how I feel with this character. Again, this is the planned build, but I mean it's going to evolve over time, I imagine, and I'm pretty much okay with that. I'm not really worried too much about whether or not the build changes. I just like to start off with this. Using all the Alva equipment. Again, good bonuses while still leaving me pretty maneuverable. I'm pretty used to dodging and weaving as it is from last game. I was basically pure sorcerer, no points in vitality, all into faith and magic, basically. I didn't want um, any points to go anywhere else, really, outside of intelligence and faith. So I just had enough strength to use my equipment. So this is going to be a very different build. It's going to be fun, though, I think. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different from the last build, and I totally believe I'm going to die a lot in this run. But, you know, you live and learn. So, that being said, I guess I'm off to the Forest of Fallen Giants, which, dig. I really like this. It's the first area. I was super happy when I saw some early gameplay footage. It just looked like a really nice area. Oh shit, I'm going the wrong way. I'm off to such a good start already. Do keep in mind this is only my second run, so before anybody starts to, just light my ass up with you're going the wrong way. You fucking stupid idiot. I'm gonna do that a lot. I'm kind of scatterbrained, especially when it comes to video games. I'm always thinking of something completely unrelated, and so there's a very good chance that at any point in time, I will definitely forget where I am, forget what I'm doing, lose my train of thought, and make a big ass of myself. So yeah, just fucking save it. I don't I don't really want to hear it. Um, but no, feel free to comment. If I miss anything, obviously that's not going to be something that I'm going to go back and get. Most of the gear I have now is fairly much set. I mean, if I don't have it in my inventory, I'm not going to be going and looking for it. Um, Obviously, any new boss souls that are in New Game Plus only don't count, but I know for a fact, like I said, there's going to be a lot of things I'm just not going to go and try to get in this second run. So don't bother trying to tell me. Um, if for whatever reason you do see that I've done something stupid, or there is a better choice of equipment, feel free to let me know. I would love to hear that kind of input, especially if it looks like I'm getting my ass whooped in certain spots. So yeah, here we are, Forest of Fallen Giants. Like I said, I really dig this area. It's a lot better starting area, I think, than any of the other Souls games. It feels a lot more carefully planned out. It makes me feel like, why the hell did that miss? I don't know, I feel like this gives a starting player a better understanding of the game. It doesn't feel as immediately dangerous to the player as the other Souls games. Especially considering I played Demon Souls, and I can't tell you how long it took me to get past the first area. It was just a nightmare. And I'm pretty stubborn, so of course, it was completely ridiculous to keep, banging my head up against the wall that is Demon Souls, but I did it because, again, I'm stubborn when I play games. If I'm not going to let the goddamn game beat me, okay? The machines can't win, and I do everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen. So yeah, I am not the best at these kind of games as well. I kind of play them on my own terms, unfortunately. So early on, especially, you're going to see a lot of like incredibly subpar behavior. It's going to be ugly, but that's just how I've always played these games. I only get really cheesy when I've gotten my ass whooped too much. But until then, I'm just going to be a complete fool and just kind of mash. Again, I'm playing this build for the first time. It's not based off of any build that I saw online particularly. I just kind of whipped it together myself because it seemed like a cool kind of archetype to play through. I really dug faith-based skills in my first playthrough when I was doing basically a full mage build. Great Lightning Spear tore holes in everything. So if you're a new player, if for some reason this is the first video you've watched on Dark Souls, consider a faith-based build. You can still be a faith-based, what am I trying to say? A faith-based melee build, if you'd like. You're not relegated to just, being a caster. So don't feel like that's kind of your curse now. Like, I have to run away from everything. I can't, play up close. That's kind of the build I'm actually trying to make right now, is something that can do everything maybe not as great as a specialized character could, but I just like the freedom. You know, it kind of was difficult for me to get into the mindset of being a pure caster because I've never played that kind of build before. I've never been the type of person who goes, "Hey, there's this really cool game. Um, I want to just stand far away and shoot shit at people." Um, it's just not the kind of build for me. I typically, in games where I have the choice, will usually play uh, kind of a hybrid. Uh, Again, I'll play a mage type with some melee capability, or a melee character with some spell based. I've always liked the classes that are more support, if you will. It just always felt nicer having the poisons and the crippling effects, but there aren't too many of those in this game, and they're effective mostly in PvP from what I've seen. But yeah, so this is going to be my first real test. Um, Although I have a feeling with Great Lightning Spear, it's not going to be a very big deal. And yeah, 3 spears, done deal. Um, Again, big reason why I was harping on, if you're a new player, consider Faith. You won't get this spell until much later, but just regular Lightning Spear is great. Um, it chews through bosses in PvE. It has some uses in PvP, um, but more than likely you're going to be um, having a little bit more trouble if you're just a pure Faith build. Now, again, I'm not a huge PvPer, so you can all tell me I'm completely wrong and full of shit. Um, but from my personal experience, playing uh, my mage in the in my first game, I found that dark and just straight sorcery actually did the most work for me. People in PvP tend to just not have a lot of dark defense. Um, People are running Havels or whatever giant ass armor set that they want to put on, and you can just kind of chew them up with things like Affinity and some of the other dark spells. Great Resonant Soul, for example. Even if they're blocking, low enough defense, there's not a whole lot they're going to be able to do about it. So, I'm not building this as a PvP build by any stretch of the imagination. I didn't want it to become a PvP build um, because I don't think it's going to be strong enough to compete in that realm. I'm actually kind of surprised at myself that I'm playing a second run through of this game. I tend to not do New Game Plus in games because I feel like a lot of times they lose the magic, if you will, just because of uh, uh, some poor, I think, design choices on what constitutes quote-unquote New Game Plus. It's always seemed very weird to me to have this kind of artificial difficulty increase, wherein the enemies just get more damage and more HP. I hate it. Again, it doesn't feel realistic. Again, it's a video game. I know it's not realistic, but I'd like something other than an artificial challenge, because in reality, it doesn't make me feel like I'm winning or losing when I know that the enemies have just gotten buffed. The first run through of this game, you feel like, your strengths and weaknesses are based on unfamiliarity and traps and lots of other interesting quirks of the game. Whereas, in a lot of New Game Plus, again, I feel like the real enemy is the spike, not so much the game. Now, again, you might be arguing, well, there's not much that you aren't going to be familiar with the second time through. Well, enemy placement can change. Give them more or less, attacks. make a make changes, make the player have to work harder, uh, in the sense that they're not just swinging away for 10 minutes uh, at an enemy. Make it actually feel like the character has to go through an ordeal, and that it's not just some kind of meat shield uh, for for the player to fight through. Dying already. So cool, yeah. I mean, that's really the first part of the Forest of Fallen Giants. Going here, which I love this area. I think it's a really great uh, kind of iconic area in the game. Our really our second bonfire in the area. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna go ahead and cut it here. Um, Again, this is kind of just my intro. Uh, I wanted to kind of get my build out there, get into the game a little bit, and just kind of talk about what my general strategy was going to be. So hopefully the next time I won't chatter so much about my fucking character, and I'll actually talk a little bit about the game. Won't that be nice? Alright, guys, I will talk to you all very soon. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully you'll come back for the next part where I'm, actually doing something of worth. Peace.